Good morning and welcome to Norcal PTACs webinar in partnership with the California Department of General Services. How to do business with the state of California. My name is James Forrest. I am the program coordinator for Norcal PTAC, and we're very psyched to have Michael Aguilio here with business. He is with the California DGS Business Outreach Liaison. Got an excellent presentation prepared for you guys. We're going to have Q&A sessions interspersed throughout today. So please, when you get a question in your head, go ahead and enter it into the Q&A tab. It's easier if you put it in the Q&A and not the chat tab, and we can all follow them together. And then we'll be answering those as we go along and hit those Q&A parts. We'll also have a longer Q&A at the end. So please foster your curiosity and get ready to ask some questions. I'm going to hand things over to Michael pretty quickly, but those of you who have joined the webinar before know that I've got a little bit to talk about Norcal PTAC first. We are a pretty cool organization here. Let me see if we can go back to slide one. We are a nonprofit organization, part of a network of centers across the country. Norcal PTAC stands for the Northern California Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So there's PTACs all around. This is our service area. You can see in green here on the map, these 15 counties. And our main office is located at that red star up in the north part. That's in Arcata, that's where I live, and that's where Humboldt State University is. So we are sponsored by their Sponsored Programs Foundation. That's our host, makes it all possible what we do. And we get most of our funding from the Defense Logistics Agency, and we also get funding from the state government, as well as other local sources through grant funding. All of this funding means that we can provide all our services at no cost to you, which is pretty neat. So you don't have to pay anything for our counseling services, for our bid matching, for any of the resources and trainings that we put in. So here's how we work. If you want to get started with us, you can apply through a website at norcalptac.org. Click on the Apply Now button, fill out steps 1 through 7, and hit the Save button at the end of the survey. I will be notified, and I'll assign you to a procurement specialist if you're able. And then once you are eligible, and you have an application or system, then you can work on one-on-one counseling with your procurement specialist. They can be sort of your coach, offering guidance how to go through these complicated processes, not just for the state government, but also for local and federal and tribal, et cetera. And then if you're a client, we can also set you up with a bid matching profile, something that we pay for and then we offer it to you for free. Basically, you set up criteria with the procurement specialist, and then you get emails in your inbox every day that match what you sell. It helps you stay on top of those opportunities. And then, of course, we're always putting on webinars. So we've got 3 this week. We had 3 last week. We've got the biggest webinar of the year, biggest event of the year next week on the 20th. So I'll talk a little bit more about upcoming events later. But the way you get started is, like I said, go to our website. There's a bunch of other PTACs. So if you're not in our service area, don't be stressing. It's fine. There's probably a PTAC that covers your local county. So if you click on that link there, find your local PTAC, aptac-us/find a PTAC. So I'm going to go over and hand things over to Michael here. So Michael's just going to take it away. And thank you so much, Michael. It's been a pleasure working with you.
You have to, there we go. Okay. Let me see. It says continue recording. I'll accept that. Waiting for James to control your screen. All right, so there's a little disclosure here. The information provided herein is accurate to the best of my ability at the time of this presentation. Some of all the provisions mentioned herein could or may be changed by the current administration with or without prior notice. Basically, what we're trying to say here is that we're going to give you the best information possible at the time that we have it. And you know, if anything changes, beyond our control. All right. A little bit about myself. My name is Michael Aguilio. I'm the Business Outreach Liaison for the state of California. My primary function is to help you businesses understand how to do business with state government, and whenever possible, provide you with contacts that will hopefully lead to contracts for yourselves. I want to thank James and the PTAC for hosting today's webinar. You know, we want to make sure that you get as much information as possible so that you can make the right decisions for your business. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is how to do business with California state government. So this is actually the entry level information about certification, benefits thereof, and what your certification gets you, not only in benefits, but uh, the goals that the state has. So let's just go on and we'll talk about, here it is. My contact information. Well, I'll put this in the chat for you, but you send me email if you would. Michael period Aguilio, Aguillio at dgs.ca.gov, get V, and I'll answer any questions you do have at the very end. I'll put that also in the chat. We have a one-on-ones. You can schedule those at any given time, of course, during work hours, and you can meet with one of our counselors to talk specifically about your business as a whole, your how we can help you with your online profile, how to find bids, all kinds of information that hopefully can benefit you. All right, so we'll talk all about that. So here's the topics again. Overview of the Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Program. The state certification, we have 3 of them. The certification benefits, why you might want to do, get certified. We'll talk briefly about your Cal e-Procure registration and certification. Keywords and UNSPSC codes, current bid solicitations, commercial useful function, and resources. We'll have an overview on the 3 in the middle, Cal e-Procure registration and certification, keywords and UNSPSC codes, and current bid solicitation. But most of that is going to be tomorrow. So, the state of California, as you can see here by this pie chart, we have a huge goal. Of all of our contracting dollars, our goal is to spend 25% of that with certified small businesses and 3% with disabled veteran business enterprises. So that's a huge goal. Now, people ask me all the time, well, okay, great percentages. What is that in dollars and cents? Well, in fiscal year 2019 through 2020, we spent $12 billion total. At least what we keep track of, DGS wise. The state spends a lot more money than that. In our program, we had spent 2.8 billion with small business. Of course, we were a little short. As you can see at this chart, our goal was 25%, and we missed that mark in 2019 and 20. It's a COVID year. There's a lot of emergency spending. Anyway, almost $3 billion with small businesses and 336 million, which we exceeded our 3% goal, which is 3.8%, with disabled veteran business enterprises. Huge amount of money being used and spent with our goals intended, small business and disabled veteran business enterprise. So hopefully the businesses are online, the 18 18 minus 2, the 16 that are here today. And of course, you take away Nina. Hi, Nina, who works for the state as well. There is a huge goal, and hopefully you are winning some of that money. All right, the state has 3 certifications. We have a small business certification. We have a small business for the purpose of public works. And of course, the disabled veteran business enterprise certification. So there's 3 certifications that the state now has. All right, so in that context, what is a certified small business? A certified small business, and here is the criteria. You must be independently owned and operating. Your business, you're working it. Cannot be dominant in the field of operation, and meaning that you have the only business doing selling the product and our services. Must have its principal office located in California. The California designation, this is a California program for California-based business, and that's why that is there. And have its owner or offices in case of a corporation domiciled in California. Now, I read this verbatim. I don't want to mix words. This is the criteria with this one part included. All together with your affiliates, be either a business of 100 or fewer employees and have a gross annual receipt of $15 million or less, average over the previous 3 tax years. Okay, so many of the businesses that are in our system don't fall in this category, meaning that you have a lot less employees and or make less than $15 million. Anyway, it's an average. Okay, so if you're a manufacturer you have to maintain 100 and fewer employees. The dollar threshold goes away. And if you are a manufacturer, the state has a unique website for you. If you're a manufacturer here in California, you can add your manufacturing logo and not a detail, but a overview of what you do on the governor's website. So just so you know, so manufacturer, give me a holler in the chat, and I'll see if I can get that information to you. All right, so now there is one thing that is not here. We have, when you apply for small business certification, there is one that's automatically given to you, and you don't have to apply for it. It is called a micro business. A micro business is one that makes $5 million or less gross annual receipts and have 25 or fewer employees. Many small businesses qualify for the micro business, so you'll see on your certification SB/MB. And as again, you do not have to apply for this micro business. It's given to you based on your application that you filled in. If you are, like I said, less than 100 employees, and you make, of course, less than $5 million over the average 3 tax years, then you're automatically given micro business status. Micro business status is important because many cities and counties who use our database are looking for micro businesses as opposed to a small business. So just so you know. All right, so public works, what this is intended for is to businesses who have graduated, and we do have that, out of the small business certification, you can apply for the small businesses doing public works. Now, the only difference between the two is the size of your business. So you go down to the bottom bullet, everything else remains the same, except for the fact now you can have a business of 200 or fewer employees and have a gross annual receipts of $36 million averaged over the previous 3 tax years. So pretty much double, if you will, in regards to the size of your business. Okay. Same applies. Let me go back one slide. So now you're doing public works. Now here's the caveat to all of this. If you are a small business, you do not have to apply for the small business doing public works. You still are small and you qualify to do public works work. Not an issue. If you go out of the small business certification and now you can apply, or you should apply for the small business doing public works, because now you're a larger business, you do not qualify to be a small business anymore. However, you can do public works for the state of California, and you must apply for that. But this is not automatically given. Only if you are small, under the 200 employees. Actually, it's $115 million or less. You do not have to apply for this. Okay, just so you know, you automatically are included. All right. Now, for disabled veteran business enterprises, the rule here is you must be at least 10% service disabled. This is gotten through the federal government. This is so 10% service disabled, right? You have to be majority owner, 51%. Okay. And of course, if you're a limited liability company, an LLC, it must be wholly owned by one or more of disabled veterans. Okay. Now here, it basically says, daily business operation must be managed and controlled by one or more of the veterans, because it's a veteran-based certification. You have to be service disabled, majority owner, and you have to be working through the business. All right. Disabled veteran or veterans who manage and control the business is not required to be the disabled veteran owner. So somebody's always working this. Okay. The home office must be located in the United States, and the home office cannot be a branch of a subsidiary of a foreign corporation, firm, or other foreign-based business. Okay, so I don't want to. This is really important. Any questions about certification and eligibility requirements, you can always reach out to us. We have a phone number you can call, 916-375-4940. I'll add that in the chat as well. Or you can go to, and I'll put that as help, OSDS help at dgs.ca.gov. All right. So really briefly, any questions about certification eligibility requirements? Is anything in the chat? Nothing. I'll put that other things in there.
I don't see anything right now. Just a
All right,
reminder
cool.
that folks can enter the questions into the Q&A tab as soon as they come into their head, and we will get to them at these intermittent chat periods here. What was that phone number again, Michael? I can go ahead and put that in the chat right now.
It's for help. It's 916
916.
375 4940 is our help desk. It's manned during work hours, of course. Somebody will help you with any questions you have regarding eligibility requirements, your certification. If you have questions about how to answer a question on the application, or you need help with your profile, all of that could be done through this telephone number. I'll try to find the address for the email. Best way to reach them, though, if you want immediate assistance, is to give them a ring. All right. All right. So we have no questions at this time. Let's move forward. Get through all these slides. All right.
We did just get one question if you want to
Oh,
hit
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
John is asking, can an SBE qualify for a Dvbe allocation of on contracts?
Yeah, you can actually, if you can get certified in all three, in all three areas. So, John, if you are a service disabled veteran that meets the qualifications as we discussed earlier, then you can be certified as a small business and a DVBE, disabled veteran business enterprise. My recommendation is that all of you who do qualify is to get the certifications that you qualify for. Now, in the application process, recommendation is you get the small business certification first, and then work on your DVBE certification, because that does take a little while longer. We ask you to submit documentation from the federal government, your DD 214, or information of your disability. And there's some other things that we are required, and it does take a little bit longer. So the path of least resistance, small business certification, then the DVBE, and then you'll be good to go.
And then John clarified, he said, I'm not actually service disabled. So in that case, I think the answer would be no.
Yeah. So if you're not service disabled, then you don't qualify for the other half. Okay. Well,
all right.
All right.
Keep moving on. And folks, remember, you can enter your questions into the Q&A and we'll get to them.
All right. So applying for the small business preference. Well, how do we apply the small business preference? Because there's things that you get when you get certified as a small business. And one of them is the small business preference. As a small business, you get 5% bid preference. So now, okay, everybody says, okay, what is the 5% bid preference? How does it work? For those of you who've gone through this presentation already, it's pretty simple. In a simplified procurement, you got bidder A and bidder B. Of course, there's a lot more than that, but we'll just make it simple for us to look at. So we have a non-certified small business and a certified small business. So if you look at the initial bids, this non-certified bid $100,000, and you as a certified small bidder bid 102. Initially, in the evaluation process, you are not, as a certified small business, the lowest bidder. In the past, you would automatically lose because it's head-to-head, right? However, as a certified small business, you get a 5% bid preference. Now, what the state does is we take the $100,000 or the lowest non-certified small business. 5% of that is from the $100,000. For all you who are listening online, what is that? Okay, just in case you didn't know, and it took you a while, it's $5,000. Now, come on, businesses, you got to know your math. This is your money. Okay, got to know your money. All right, so what the state does is the lowest certified small business, we take the $5,000, which is 5% bid preference. All right, we subtract that from the lowest certified small business. So we got 5,000 from 102, the number is 97. As we look at the bid now with the 5% bid preference, you are a certified small business at 97. The non-certified bid is still stuck at $100,000. So you officially have the lowest bid based on this preference. Okay, so you win the bidding, but we adjust your bid. So we adjusted it. Okay, so that's how. However, since we take the 5% bid preference, you win, but you win at the original amount of 102. So just in case you wonder, oh wait a minute, I didn't bid 97. I bid 102. I can't make any money at 97. So the idea is you get a 5% bid preference. We subtract that again really quickly from the non-certified small business. Take that dollar amount, whatever it might be, in this case, $5,000, subtract it from the lowest certified small business, and then we evaluate the dollars then. So pretty simple, straightforward, and it's a huge benefit for small businesses to have a preference program. So that's one of the items that you get. Okay. Now, it'd be written in the solicitation, all right? So you can see that. The things that aren't listed in here, let me go back one other slide. The incentive, if you're a Dvbe incentive, so you got a preference and an incentive. So if you happen to be both a small business and a Dvbe, like we had talked earlier with who was that, James? I forget his name. Either way, if there is in the solicitation an incentive built in, we can take another 5%, so it'd be up to 10% off the bid. Now, can be up to 5. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get the 5% preference, and then whatever the incentive might be, they're joined, and we take that percentage off if there is both a small business and a Dvbe incentive built into the solicitation. Huge amount if there is both, and if you're certified as both. Okay, so all right, so question is, well, okay, Michael, I like this. The other thing that wasn't in this presentation that I like to point out though, is you get the small business incentive, and then you get the preference and incentive, small business preference, and the Dvbe incentive. But you also have the Prompt Payment Act as a part of this. You get put in a preferred vendor database because we have huge goals of 25 and 3%. All of that is a part of the benefits you have. Understanding your benefits, then you can leverage those benefits to help you win bids. So you got to know them, you got to understand them, how it works, and then that will help you win bids moving forward. All right, so the question becomes, I'm not certified, Michael. Where do I start? How do I do this? What do I do? You'll go to www.caleprocure.ca.gov as pointed out in the slide. You will make sure you go there. There's a lot of other places that you can be, but this is the state's homepage for you. It's called the California Government Marketplace. Once you get certified in this particular database, you actually are creating your own page in the system. Okay, you'll see how it changes as you get certified. So right now, this is what it looks like. Selling to the state, get certified. So there's different places where you can start looking. And at one place on the top is where you find some of the solicitations. All right, so get certified. You click on that link. Once you get inside, it has all the things that you need to gather prior to certification. It will make it easier for you. Complete tax returns. If you have a DUNS number or a tax ID number, those things are you can choose to either use your social security number or your employee identification number. Either one works, but you have to have one. Everybody should have a social security number. And then all these other things that you might have. So we also have a little thing in there is, if you forgot what the requirements are, the Dvbe requirements, it's all listed on this particular page. Gather all this stuff out. Now, here's some of the things that this slide should actually came prior to, but you have the prompt payment assistance. So if you're having issues with the payments as you go, you can reach out there. Commercial use of function. All these little things are on this page to help you understand how to get certified and what resources you have. Okay, so the important is that you understand that this is available to you as a small business. So we have a prompt payment program. Okay, you get paid first before anybody else. And if you don't get paid, that's one of the benefits that you have. You get paid a late penalty payment. So understand that. And if they're late, they shouldn't be. You are eligible to get one. They should automatically mail you an additional check. And then if they don't quote me though. I can tell you that all you got to do is reach out and say, hey, look, you're 30, 40 days overdue and you are eligible to receive one. Just ask for it, just in case you didn't see it. All right. So cursor kind of left me. All right, so we have training and resources for you as a certified small business and actually any business. So if you want to watch this video again, of course, we're recording it, but we already have pre-recorded training videos and of course documents that you can watch as it says here. Look, learn how to update your certification profile, overview of keywords and UNSPSC codes. Now it's really important when you're filling out your online profile, as James would point out when you do the bid match system, that you get it right, because you want to make sure that all the opportunities that are available to you come up in the system. Now, step 2 is tomorrow, but here's a little precursor to all that. What happens is when you write when the state writes a solicitation, it puts UNSPSC codes to that solicitation. Here's the product or services that we are buying. If your online profile has those numbers in the profile, the system automatically sees that and sends you an email basically saying, hey, you're interested in, your profile says you can do this kind of work. Are you interested? Take a look, see if you want to bid on it. So as I said, you have to have a robust online presence in order for you to get the benefit that you want from the system. Now, the state has done something very new. We had taken all the UNSPSC codes that are available by United Nations, and we narrowed it down the field of what only the state buys. So now when you look through the system, it'll only give you items that the state is utilizing. All the other codes are no longer in our system because we don't necessarily buy them as a state. There'd be things like, for instance, nuclear fuel and other things that were in the United Nations coding system that we don't buy as a state, and we got rid of them so that they don't get all mixed up in all the work that we do. All right, so we have resources, how to grow your business. It's all available under that tab, certification. All right. The other thing that we have that is important for you as business owners is that we have a list of reciprocity partners. The reciprocity partners are cities, counties, and municipalities that accept your small business certification, and they have a small business program. If you're not selling to the state of California, you haven't found any opportunities, please make sure that you look through our reciprocity partners. They too have a small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise program and have incentives for you to come work with them. So I want to make sure that you understand that the state wants to do business with you. However, if you can't find opportunities with us, please look into our reciprocity partners. And even if you're doing business with the state, look there too, expand your business. Either way, the idea is that, any money is better than no money. So my recommendation, as I said forth, try to find work with the state of California, have a huge online presence, and of course, look at our reciprocity partners. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Have a whole bunch of eggs in all kinds of baskets and make as much money as you can. All right. So I gave you kind of an overview of some of the how to get benefits, the benefits thereof, the qualifications. Anybody has any other questions? Nope.
We do got some questions. Yeah, looks like we have 4 questions here.
Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah, you guys are doing it now on a roll. Corey is asking approximately how long does the certification take for the Dvbe, given all the paperwork was submitted correctly? Same question for the SB as well.
Well, the small business certification, as I said earlier, is a more simplified process. Once you press submit on the small business certification, it is possible, depending on the questions that you answer, to get certification immediately. So it might say, thank you, congratulations, here's your certification. Unfortunately, the Dvbe certification does take a little bit longer. One is because you have to submit the documentation proving that you are a service disabled veteran, and all of those must be uploaded. It does take a while to verify, and that's, I would say, I don't know. It's a good question. You're kind of putting me in a rock and a hard place on that question, because I don't know. It could be anywhere from a week to a month. It all depends on information that needs to be gathered. Now, here's the deal here. Once you submit those, it'll ask you at the very end of the application, please submit the following documents. You can upload those documents and put it through the secure network we download them. My recommendation, and certification, don't tell them I told you this, but here's what you do. If it does ask you subsequent questions at the end of your application, give it an hour or two, or maybe a day. Give them a call and say, hey, look, I applied for my certification. It asked me to upload these documents. Ask them if they got your documents. What could happen at that particular time? They may open up the documents. Well, they will open up to make sure they got it. And they could, by reviewing in that instant, say, oh, okay, everything looks good. Boom, certification done. Or they might tell you, okay, look, I have some other things I need to go through real quick. Let me call you back after I review the applications before you. So, that's just a subliminal way of trying to get your review a little higher. Now, you got to ask the following questions. Well, if they tell you, okay, look, how long would it take for you to review? What do you think? If they tell you, give me a couple of days. Well, in a couple of days, give them a ring back. Hey, I just want to touch bases with you, see where my application is. Now, when you're applying for certification as a small business and or DVBE, if there is something out there that you have found that can give you benefits, for instance, you found a solicitation out there, you want to bid on it, and they'll give you a small business incentive or a DVB, a preference, the small business preference or the DVB incentive. You can ask for expedite because we want you to take advantage of the certification. So what you would have to do is just give us a copy of the top layer or the layer saying that we have a incentive or a preference on the solicitation, and we'll expedite. Your stuff goes to the top automatically based on your need to get certified so you can take advantage of the benefits. Okay, so
Perfect.
that's the key factor there. No, it's not anywhere in the presentation, but since you asked that qualifying questions, I give you a little bit extra info. All right, so what else we got?
That was you got two birds with one stone there. That was Corey's other question about how to get it to move faster, because there is an RFP. So perfect. Just another reminder that we are recording this and the slides will be posted to our website later today, norcalptech.org, on the resources panel. And everyone will be receiving an email if you registered for this event. Are there opportunities for public works? Kevin is asking.
Oh yeah, there's opportunities for public works all the time. I mean, right now we got billions of dollars in public works with road work, building, construction. There's a lot of work in public works now. Doing public works, although you get certified by state of California to do public works, and you get the benefits of a small business certification, there is some other hoops that you need to go through. It's my understanding that you got to get certified by. Oh, Nina, if you could put that in the chat, the Bureau of. You have to get registered. Now I just can't think of the name. I'm asking Nina to give me some help. There is a cost to get certified. Now, my recommendation, once I remember this item, you go through their website, take a look at some of the things that they do and what you got to get certified to do in public works, and you pay the application fee. Internal Bureau of
the DIR.
That's the one. That's the one. So there's a little bit more you need to do if you're going to do in the public works area, but the benefits of certification is huge because there's a lot of money. We have, in my understanding, there's billions of dollars. I read an article. There's like $100 billion worth of public works that's going to be put out for businesses. Right now, we have 3 state buildings going up, 2 in Sacramento, 1 in LA. So there's a lot of work out there. Finding it, you got to make sure that, like I said earlier, a lot of it comes down to your online presence in the online marketplace with the state of California, Cali Procure. And then, of course, James has a huge benefit, and I cannot tell you how important that is. You need to sit down with the PTAC and get registered for bid match. He's giving you an opportunity where you don't really have to hire another employee. They're actually helping you find opportunities. If you take the moment to sit down, get an online profile, and they'll start looking for you. Federal government, state government, and other places, cities, counties, they look all over for opportunities for you. There is no other place and all of our reciprocity partners or assistance centers that have this particular product. And I can't stress enough for those who are online today, if you don't take advantage of this, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm dumbfounded.
We
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, and it's a platform that we actually pay for with our grant funding, and then we offer to our clients for free. So it's
free.
certainly, yeah,
It's already paid for.
yeah,
There is some PTACs. I can tell you this right now that I've worked when I traveled throughout the state, or I had traveled throughout the state. I haven't traveled in a while since COVID, but there's some PTACs because the grant money has paid for a whole bunch of subscription that they now are overflowing with applications and they have to charge you for that. Right now, he's doesn't cost you anything. You better check in with James and see what you can get because that opportunity for you to find opportunities through his program is huge, huge benefit. All right, so no other questions. I'm going to be here for a while.
yeah.
James, you can go in.
We can save some of the questions for next time. Then.
Yeah. Okay. So now at Caliper, you register your business. Now it's a two-step process. You're going to register your business to get a username and password. Once you register your business and get a username and password, the system automatically ask, okay, log in using the username and password that was given to you via email. Okay. You take that, you log in, and then the system will automatically ask you, okay, look, redo your password. It's a checks and balances. We want to make sure you're the business that filled out the application and not some, hacker somewhere. So it sends you an email saying, okay, now that you've logged in, please change your password. Okay. You change your password, and then you log back in. It's a little tedious there. Only takes you a couple of minutes, but the fact is now you have secure in login password. So you get registered, and then the second step is to now, after getting registered and you're in the system, to fill out the online application for small business and our Dvbe certification. Now, all of this takes less than an hour. So the time that we've gone through this presentation, you can always gone through the process. Some of you who have not got certified as small, no problem. It's real easy. Those that you have got certified already, my recommendation, you take a closer look at your profile. Tomorrow's workshop will give you some hints on what to look for and how to do all of that. All right, so you can search for solicitations and bids on contract. All of this is at no cost, and you can do that all at www.caleprocure at .ca.gov. Everything starts there. Okay. All right, so you would log in, as I said earlier, log in and register. So if you're first time, you'll register. You'll register as a new bidder. All right. You'll do the 5 questions. It's simple. There's only 5 questions. You fill them out really quick for the registration process, that is. They'll say you right here, okay, you registered ID, you know who you are. Then they'll ask you to log back in, like I said. You'll log back in. Boom, registration confirmation, Cali Procure login. All of that's there. As you can see, you're going to get 2 numbers. One is a bidder ID. We let everybody use our system, so they register for a username and password. So you get a bidder's ID, and then of course, once you get certified, you get a certification ID. So there's 2 of them. Okay. Many businesses, this is basically a step through. You got to use your username and password, log in. Once you get in, you got to continue because it tells you expired. Like I said earlier, pretty simple. You change your password, just change, and you log back in using a new password. Okay. I basically explained that. This is what it looks like. So it's a checks and balances. Once you get in, it's very unique. When you get in and you register, you have the ability now to get certified. All information you have is on your page. So the state creates a page specifically for you on the California State Online Marketplace. Okay. You get started with the application, hit the appropriate buttons. If you need additional information, as we went through in the previous slides, you can get all of that here. Just a reminder, this stuff is what you need. Okay. All of it's a part of the page. Now, you can get certified as a small business doing public works, Dvbe, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, and of course, we have 2 nonprofit certification as well. We don't talk about them too much. There's not a whole lot of benefits other than the fact that you are certified as a nonprofit and you do get the Prompt Payment Act. All right, so all of this is available to you. You can apply for all at the same time, assuming that you fit the qualifications thereof. Okay. All right, so it's pretty simple, straightforward. We're trying to make this as simple as possible. As a matter of fact, you go anywhere else and any other certifications, you'll find out that the state has the one that is easiest to get at this point in time. All right. Any questions on Cali Procure certification, what to look for, how the
Sure.
system works?
Looks like we got a couple questions here.
Oh, cool.
So someone's asking, I've been searching through bids
Okay.
on Cali Procure using keywords and UNSPSC codes. I haven't found anything. I haven't had any success. Are there any suggestions you have to help?
Wow, you are already in phase 2. That question comes tomorrow. However, since you asked that today, there is some suggestions that we can have. I would like you to please sit down with me or one of my colleagues one-on-one. I'll show you how to do that at the end of this presentation. We can look at your profile. But if you've been searching, we do have a new site. It's if you go to dgs.ca.gov, on the top right-hand corner is a search function, right? Just type in the word dashboards. When you get to the dashboards, it has 6 dashboards. It tells you what the state is spending the most of their money on, some of the UNSPSC codes. I don't know what you do. You might be certified in our system, and we might not buy what you sell. That is a possibility. So without knowing, it's hard for me to answer. But if you haven't looked in our historical database, which is Skipper's State Contract Procurement Registration System, we capture all of our purchases over $5,000. In that database, you can search of what the state has bought since 2009, I believe it is. Of course, you have to go back, on the search function, because we have like 100,000 purchases every month or every other month. It's a huge database. Nevertheless, though, if you go through there, you can either put a UNSPSC number under the search and or the product that you're searching for, and see what we have purchased anytime this past year, and see if you pop up. I mean, it's not hard to do. I showed somebody do that yesterday. So that's one thing you get. The other thing is that, and I said this earlier, man, you got to hit up James. We're not finding it in DGS's system. Look into his bid match. There's other places that you can find opportunities, and it may not be with the state, but he has a hookup for you. Don't forget, check out James and the bid match system. All right, got a question then?
Or your local PTAC if you're not located.
Oh, that's true too. That's true. All right, right.
I don't want to get a flood of applications from Southern
gotcha,
California
man. I'm
and
gonna text
Sacramento.
James, and he's like, "Wow,
all PTACs help. We're all here to help. But.
There you go. That's true. It's true. If you're not local, at least in his service area, please. He showed you how to find them. But utilize that opportunity. I mean, you can't beat it. It's huge.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, we good?
So Tony is saying there's several steps to this process. Is there somewhere I can see a numbered list on what to do first, second, third, etc.?
Several steps to.
I assume the certification process.
Yeah, we do have a flyer. Let me see if I can dig it up for you. It's basically, it shows you the 5 steps that you need. It's actually 2 steps with sub steps in it. First is to get a username and password, or register, and second is to fill out the online application. But the first part, registering, there's 5 steps in that one, and as you flip the card over, it lists some of the things that you need when you go through the application process. Your tax information, if you're a Dvbe, your DD-214. It asks you how many employees you have. I mean, it's really straightforward. It'll ask you questions about your business. It's pretty yes, no questions all in there. For instance, one of the questions is, are you a dominant field of operation? If you answer yes, the system will automatically tell you, well, thank you very much for applying, but you don't need to apply because you don't meet the qualifications as listed in the one before. So just be careful of that one. That's one of the ones that a lot of people miss. All right. But
I'll drop into
put
the
in
chat here
if I can find it. Okay.
There's a nice, there's sort of nice step-by-step list on this webpage. I'll drop in the chat here for DGS.
There you go. There you go. Look at that. I see. Great teamwork here, James.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So what else we got? That's pretty much it for the time being.
Yep.
All right. So the other
We,
benefits
we
you
do have
have.
other questions, but they can wait for future.
Okay.
Q&A if
The
you
other
want
thing that
people
we
to
have, and
follow
we
along.
got to move on because I got like 13 minutes or so get through the rest of these slides. But we have
We have an
advocates.
hour and a half, so
I appreciate it. All right, so we have advocates. Advocates, they're embedded in all the state departments. Any department that has the ability to spend $100,000 or more on any purchases are required to send us. And Nina, who's online today, is also part of the board of directors. We oversee the advocates, and we set up their training. Anyway, we meet there with them on quarterly to talk about how they should be helping you as small businesses, some of the tools that we would give them. But they're there to help you. They're your inroads to the State Department that you may want to do business with. So if you want to know what they're doing, how to get involved, you always will. My recommendation is you reach out to the primary advocate in those departments. Now, like, okay, Michael, great. Reach out to the advocates. Well, where the heck do we find them? A list of them. Well, pretty simple. You go to Cal eProcure, right? Start there. You go find training and resources. That's the slide that's on the very bottom. I have to make 2 slides for one. Boom. Search. Under the research and marketing, contact your small business advocate. All right. So it's all a part of Cal eProcure. You'll download the directory. The directory comes in an Excel spreadsheet. This is what it looks like. The Excel spreadsheet will look all the advocates on this list. There's over 200 of them. It has the department they work for, the unit is separately, the check mark under construction. For those of you into construction, you can just sort it through the construction, and all the ones that pop up that primarily do construction. You have the name of the advocate, and then further on to the right, you have their email address, and you can send them email, okay, and ask them. And some of them will have phone numbers listed. You can call up and leave a message, or if they answer, talk to them directly. All right. So here's the thing. Is actually, if you're going to do this, make sure that you got 30 seconds. Everybody's busy. You are as well. You definitely want to start with your name. Okay. Here's who I am. Your company name. Now we have the certification. Wayne always likes to say you have your certification number handy. That's a good thing. More importantly is what you do. Okay. So your name, company name, if you have your certification number, and what you do is important in the conversation. The key note here is that you want to start with your name so that you can have a personal connection with the buyer. Any other format will actually kind of deter from what you're trying to do, and that's actually to have a one-on-one personal connection. If you start with your company name, okay, but not your own, we're going to have to ask you, and that really takes away from the conversation. But this is subliminally the best way to reach an individual that you want to talk to. I mean, when you go up to talk to a new person that you met, when they do the introduction, they don't say, hey, this guy's from ABC Fence Company. They always, when you're introduced through a friend, hey, this is James, friend of mine, ABC Fence Company, right? Same thing. All right. So 30-second elevator speech followed by your capability statement. So you say hello, you send them a capability statement. If you don't know what it looks like, just go to Google and find one. Okay. One of the things that we recommend that you have in there is if UNSPSC codes, if you can find room for that, and your certifications. And of course, highly important is the very bottom. It has, how to contact you. Many people have capability statements. They have it. You see, as they have the name at the top, but they forget to put their contact information. Does you know any good? My recommendation is you put your contact information directly under your company name. All right. All right. So pretty straightforward on how to reach out to advocates, where to find advocates. This is important for you because the advocates are there to help you. Anytime you have an issue with an advocate within the state of California, you can reach out to myself or Nina. We'll try to help you find the answer you're looking for or the appropriate advocate to reach out to. Anyway, that's how you want to do that. That's how you want to start. So 1, find out who the advocates are. 2, make sure you have a way to speak to them, your elevator speech. And 3, your capability statement. Now, most of the stuff should be in presentation number 2, which is tomorrow. But just give you a heads up. So this is going to be a report because it's really, really important that you understand that. All right. What you got there, James? Nothing? Okay, great.
We got some questions. You're trying to power through. You do have until
Yeah, it's all good. What we got?
11:30, so we'll do a Q&A as well. Someone's just wondering about when public works would be helpful. Like if you're doing electrical contracts, small contracts, do you need public works, or is that helpful?
Well, you don't need to have it. As I said earlier in the presentation, if you're certified as a small business, you automatically qualify for the public works. If and only if you start making more than the certification as a small, then you can apply for the public works section. You automatically qualify as a small business. So if you start having more than 200 employee or 100 employees, now you got to apply for the other one because you outgrew the small business certification and now you're in the public arena. So there's a lot of work for subcontractors. The state usually has, we put in the contracts small business requirements. For instance, the California state buildings that are going up here in Sacramento, they require 25% inclusion of small businesses as part of the award. So we awarded to, I can't remember who that company is, Turner Construction, I believe it is. And we told them, hey, look, if you got this $555 million building that you're building for us, you must hire a percentage, 25% to small businesses. You get the rest, subcontract the rest. So there's a lot of goals in a lot of these larger contracts that we have in the state of California, because we know as a small business, you cannot win the contract. You don't have the resources, the amount of employees that are necessary. But we don't disclude you from larger contracts because we have the larger contracts include small businesses as subs in a form and or Dvbe. So yeah, you can be a small business firm as a small and participate in these larger contracts because they're always looking for you. In step 2, we'll show you how to manipulate your how to place free advertising on the state's website. So that's tomorrow. So Jermaine is supposed to be helping you. I understand he might be under the weather, so you might get me again tomorrow. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, we'll show you how to do that.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Someone has a question about transferring ownership and operations. So they're asking, currently our LLC is 59% owned by vet and 49% owned by a business partner. I'm not sure about the math there. Can we do a resolution to an operating agreement and transfer 100% ownership to the vet? Would that qualify us for the Dvbe?
No, once the majority owner, once you transfer the ownership to a non-Dvbe, then the Dvbe certification goes away, because now it's not owned by a disabled veteran. It's owned by a non-disabled veteran. So you can't qualify as a veteran firm anymore because you have to have the majority owner being a veteran and working the system. So you can transfer ownership all you want. It's not a problem. But you got to realize that that certification stays with whoever applied and that application came with in the first place. Now, there is a caveat to all of this, and I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but I understand, God forbid the disabled veteran owner passes away. It's my understanding, and I got to verify this, but the family can run that business for a certain amount of time until till they sell off the company or find a new veteran to run the business as a whole. But as far how it works and how long, I'm not quite sure. I got too much data in my head and I got to sort it all out, but we can get you that information if that's something that you want to look into as well. I don't know what your circumstances are, but there is something there. But if you transfer the ownership to a non-certified small business and or non Dvbe, then of course the certifications do how you want to put it, what the word is, they no longer apply. There you go.
I think the question, if I'm looking carefully, it's look like they're already majority owned by a veteran, and
Okay.
they're asking if they transferred 100% to the vet, would they be eligible? But I guess the answer would be that they're already eligible if it's a majority ownership.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. They're already eligible. They got certified. Yeah.
Yeah. So 59% vet ownership would be.
That'd be 100% Dvbe. Yeah.
If the D part is in there.
If the D part is in it,
Yeah.
that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you want to transfer ownership to the veteran, all the ownership to the veteran, that's great. But like I said earlier, the veteran has to be 51% owner, majority owner, okay, and run the business as well, be participating in the business as it says in the eligibility requirements. However, just to ensure that my answer is correct, my recommendation is that you call the help desk, verify my facts, and we can go from there because they are keeping track of all the new legislations, all the rules changes. But it's my understanding as we sit here at this point. All right.
We got one more question I'm going to put in from Ian here. Just to give us some context, approximately how large is the pool of bidders or registered certified businesses in Cal e-procure system? Do you have an idea there?
I sure do. That's you believe it or not, the pool of veteran or the pool that we have in our system is very small comparative to the number of small businesses in the California. I understand but how many statistics? Millions of small businesses within the state of California. However, there's only 20,000 in the certification as small. So very small percentages are certified as small. On top of that, there's last time I looked in the Dvbe certification, there was less than 2,000 in the system. So very small certified pool. So yeah, huge benefit for you if you're in the system right now and utilizing, and that's what I said in the very beginning of this presentation, is understanding your benefit and how to leverage those benefits can be huge benefit or huge impact on your business. So only because, as you've now found out, there is a very small pool within the state certification based on what's available out there, especially in the small business ownership that we have now. Disabled veteran businesses, there is a few more. There's a lot more small businesses because remember, DVBEs can also be small as well. So yeah, small pool, number
Okay.
wise, small pool.
All right. Shall we keep it moving for now?
Yeah, let's keep it moving. All right, so inside of state contracting, this is basically another look at our resource page. Just remember, we have all these resources for you. Acquisition methods actually should be on tomorrow's presentations. I thought I cut a lot of this stuff out. We'll bypass this. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. All right, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty on our resources. We got the small business developmental centers. If you're brand new, although the PTAC can do the same thing, you've got small business consulting, planning, marketing, access to capital. James and their organization can do exactly what this SBDC does. Score is a little bit different. And here's why I put this out there. PTAC has government contracting system, especially with their bid match. And of course, they're knowledgeable in all these other areas. Score is a little bit different in the sense that, and the PTAC can do the same thing. They put you with a mentor that has been in your shoes. So if you're a newspaper printer, they'll put you in contact with another newspaper printer that is a lot bigger than you and help you mentor through all these potholes. So let's take an overview of what we talked about. We have the small business DVB program. I told you how to get certified, what their qualifications are, and we talked about the benefits. We briefly went over registration and certification. Actually, that is tomorrow. We didn't talk about keywords per se, but we did go over briefly about UNSPSC codes and how they're important to you. The advocates, and the last thing that we did not talk about is commercial useful function. Commercial useful function basically states, in all intents and purposes, is that if you're going to bid on a project or services, you have to do some of the work in form or fashion. Now, there is several questions. Now, here's the thing about commercial useful function. Every time a contract is prior to award, the contractor or the administrator will ask you a series of questions. All right, you're going to work on this project, right? You're not subcontracting more than what's allowable by the system, or the how I want to put it. It's can't subcontract more than what's allowed in the industry. That's what I was looking for. The industry. All those questions are going to pre-ask to you prior to the award. If you answer fairly and correctly, then you'll be awarded because you meet cuff pretty simple. We should have went through this. I thought I took that out. It is actually going to be covered tomorrow. All right. So if you are finding success, I want to hear from all you businesses who currently are out there that have one state contracts. I like to feature you within. We're trying to feature success stories on our state's database. Just send your information to custserve@dgs.ca.gov. And if you're not having success, by all means, reach out to us. We can have one-on-one meetings. Talk about your certification. Talk about things, how you find solicitations, some of the nuances that can help you. You can do that with us, or you can do that with the PTAC. Either way, we'll give you the assistance and the information you need to hopefully make the proper decisions for your business. We want you to succeed. We want you to be successful. We really want you to find opportunities should they exist for you. So, we're proponents for you. All right. So, and there's a repeat of some of the things. All right. Let's see. Oh, one of the things that the state does have, I'm supposed to tell you, is we have a LinkedIn page. You want to follow us on LinkedIn? Please go to www.linkedin and you can follow our what we're doing, where our next workshops are, some of the nuances that are coming out. So we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook. Please join us on that page. You might find it very valuable for you if you're into the social media. Here's the thing that I was talking about earlier. We have Microsoft bookings where you can have one-on-one appointments. They're about 30 minutes long. Which how you do that is you go to the link below, which is going to be a part of the presentation that you'll receive, and or check this out. We got a QR code for you. You hit the QR code, pick a date, pick a time, and we'll assign a person to you. If it's not myself, I oversee 2 days a week, and I have a whole bunch of other people in the office that will help as well on the other days. But set up an appointment, and we can specifically talk about you and your business and how it may apply to the state of California. So we're trying to make it easy. Like I said to you just a moment ago, we want you to succeed. We want you to find opportunities should we have those for you in your business. All right. Here you go. Office of Small Business and Disabled Veteran Services. That's the department I work for. And here are the categories that you can select. Introduction to state contracting, certification, profile, finding opportunities. All this is available to you. One-on-one, 30-minute sessions. And you can have multiple sessions if you like, right? All you got to do is select a date. All right. Pretty simple. Look it. Boom. Just pop up on my calendar. Should you be assigned to me? If not, one of our other capable associates will help out. So, thank you for participating. My goal is to ensure that you find the information useful, and I'm hoping I've done that to this point. If in fact you found some information throughout this presentation that has been useful for you, I do ask a favor from you to please pay it forward with a random act of kindness with somebody else. And it's really hard in this COVID days. I haven't really left the house for for a long time. One is that I accidentally hurt my back here at work, so it makes it really difficult. But nevertheless, in the past I would tell you share a smile. You can't do that if you're wearing a mask. But if you happen to be outside and you're passing somebody by 6 feet apart, wave hi, share a smile. If you're going through the same door somebody else is, just hold it on a little longer, prop it open for them as they come through so they can grab it too. But simple random act of kindness, I'd appreciate it on my behalf, if not for yourself. Thank you for participating. We have some more information for you, so don't go away. James got some follow-up. And then, of course, we'll answer any questions that are in the chat. Here's my contact information once again. Send me an email if you got any questions or book an appointment. All right. I'm going to relinquish.
All right. You're already getting some love in the chat. So well, nicely
That's all
done.
right. Hey.
Yeah. In addition to your random acts of kindness, you can also tell us how you thought that we did today. So there is a survey. Nice. I just put that in the chat. You'll also be directed towards the end. So even if you have random acts of criticism, we're open to hearing anything that you have.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, we do have a Q&A in just a moment. I just want to remind folks once again that we've been recording this session, and the slides as well as the recording will be shared to everyone later today. And if you liked this session, if you're curious to get more procurement assistance, we've got part 2 coming up tomorrow. And Michael said he might be hosting it, or it might be Jermaine. In any case, more quality content on what to do once you're certified with the state of California. So that's coming up tomorrow at 10. Same sort of registration process, same free webinar process, and you'll see at least me again. So we've also got more webinars coming up. We've got on Thursday doing business with federal agencies. So if you're curious about that, we've got a panel of federal agencies. And then a lot of these webinars have been leading up to the biggest event that we have in the year, and our first time doing it digitally. We have a virtual NorCal Gov2Biz matchmaker, and DGS is one of our resource partners attending. That is on July 20th. That is Tuesday, a week from today. You have opportunity to meet with state, local, federal agencies to actually sit in a Zoom meeting one-on-one and be able to prepare your 30-second elevator speech, tell them what you sell and why they should pick you, exchange some contact information. It's a great opportunity to get your foot in the door with not only agencies, but also prime contractors. And so it's a pretty neat platform, and it's all free. I would recommend, if you want to do that, signing up as soon as possible so you can still get some of the meetings. And then, of course, we just keep doing webinars all year. So August 3rd, market research utilizing the dynamic small business search tool. That's the DSBS. And that's a very important it's sort of like Cal eProcure, but on the federal level. And that's really important to know about. And we've still got plenty of slots in that one, so sign up. These are all free. You can find them on our website, norcalptech.org/calendar. All right, I think we got some time for another Q&A here. And I have a follow-up on the question before about transferring veteran ownership, 49% and things like that. Wanted to clarify that question was about an LLC, and I believe the requirements are 100% veteran ownership for an LLC. Is that correct? From what I'm able to tell.
You asked me that question. I drew a blank on that one. But the best question, I suggest that we reach out to our certification officer, as we put in there. I got to look that up too, as the email address. But my recommendation is we get the updated information regarding that question by calling, 916-375-4940 to ensure that we give you the best possible answer as it pertains to this particular moment. So that would be what I would suggest.
Sure.
I hate to say something, you do something, and it'd be all wrong, and you went through all that process to find out. Oh, Michael, why don't you tell me this in the first place? Absolutely. Let's reach out to our certification officer and verify the facts, because they're might ask you subsequent questions that I have not thought of, to ensure that the process you do and the paperwork you need are all there available to you, and you're not double backing, going through a whole bunch of hoops, find out we missed something. So yeah, let's reach out to them just to ensure everything is right.
All right. Yeah, from what I can see from the DGS website, it's for LLCs it is 100% requirement, but not for sole proprietorships. So, but the specific ownership question, that is a technical question. So I just put the information, the phone number and the answer there.
Cool.
So Brian is asking. Brian has a question. Do I need history with the state in order to win a bid?
Oh no! As a matter of fact, you don't need history with the state. We're unique in that aspect. As a matter of fact, you can start your business today and start looking for bids the same day, assuming that you're already certified as a small business. Actually, you don't even have to be a small business to look at opportunities and bid on them. The small business certification allows you all those additional benefits that one cannot get if they weren't certified. But we don't preclude anybody, large or small, for going to our database and looking for opportunities to bid on them. Just so you know, we got people bidding from all over the world. Okay, so the thing that the state does, though, is that if you're going to bid on something, the buyer is going to look at your capabilities of doing the work that you have. So if you have, and that's why capability statement is so important to you, you have history of doing the work before, education thereof, You have one of the biggest things that we're going to be talking about tomorrow too, as well as, I'm certified now. Some of the hints is that you have the capabilities of actually financing the work, because the state pays you, you know, after the work is done. So you have to be financially capable of meeting the criteria for one, doing the work, and then finally getting paid for the work. Now, depending on the work itself, like construction, you might be paid in increments, but in most cases, the state pays you after the work is already finished or the product is already delivered. So we don't prepay anything, is what I'm saying. So those are little hints, but no, my recommendation is when you fill out that capability statement that you prove, yeah, I might be a new business, but I have this certificate from this place, or I just got out of the military. I've been doing it for 10 years. All those little things help you in regards to past experience, if you have any. If you don't, again, we do not preclude you from bidding on anything, but it all depends on the job. We're not going to give you a big job with a whole bunch of money and not know if you're capable of doing it. So we take a quick look at your business profile too. All right, but no, the answer would be no. Okay.
All right, I think that we've gone through all the questions. Thank you so much for everyone for putting in a lot of really, really excellent questions today. I thought you guys were a really engaged audience, and it makes it just quite a pleasure as a host and presenter to have you. So I think if we're all set here, nobody has any more questions, then we'll just thank you for coming. Thanks, Michael, for putting together a presentation and the effort that goes into presenting. We do these webinars with the DGS quarterly on a quarterly basis. So tell your friends and family. We also have one tomorrow, so you don't have to wait another 3 months. But we really enjoy this partnership and get a lot out of it. And hope to see you guys at our future webinars. And once again, there will be a survey I put in the chat. You'll also be directed to it as you leave the webinar. Just let us know how you felt about today. And another reminder that the slides will be posted to our website. I will also put that in the chat. Put that in the chat there. That's actually all of our past webinars in the past several years. The slides and the YouTube video are linked there. So feel free to peruse there, and we'll see you at future webinars. So thanks again, everyone.
Yeah, good luck to everyone. Thank you, James.
Bye-bye. See you, Michael.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.